Hi guys, Mrs Thorne here today. Today I'm going to do a short maths lesson. This is our learning question. It says, can I add 2-digit numbers using column addition? In order for you to be successful, are you going to be able to add 2-digit numbers using Deans to help you? Can you add 2-digit numbers without exchanging? Could you go on to add 2-digit numbers with exchanging? And maybe you could go on to solve some addition problems using column addition. Pause the video for a moment and read the questions upon the board. Let's find out the answers to some of these questions. So what does addition mean? Here we go. Addition is when you bring two or more numbers or things together to make a new total. Let's try and think of some words that mean add. Here we go. I'll just reveal some. Addition words could be add, sum, both, join, plus, total, together, increase, combined, how many, or all together. Today we are going to use Deans. We're going to bring Deans together to make the total, and we're going to use something called column method also. Ben has these Deans. How many does he have altogether? Pause the video and try and think about how you can solve this question. Let's be reflective and try and work out the answer. To work out this answer, firstly, I placed all of the tens together and all of the ones together. Following that, I counted the tens to 10, 20, 30, and I wrote the answer underneath. And then I used the add sign and I added the ones together to work out there were 8 ones in total. And then I put the tens and the ones together to work out that Ben had 38 Deans all together. It's your turn now. Can you find out how many Deans Sam has all together? Let's check your answer. Once again, to find out the total of how many Deans Sam had all together, I firstly placed each of the Deans into their correct groups. So I put all the ones together and then all of the tens together. I then counted my tens, so 2 tens made 20, add plus the 7 ones. So I combined, I put together my 2 tens, which were 20, and my 7 ones, which were 7, and then I added them together, so 20 plus 7, combined them, gave me the sum of 27. So Sam had 27 Deans. If you worked out that answer, superstar, well done. So how can we add larger numbers? Well, to do that, we can use a column method. And to help us with the column method, we can still use our Deans and also something called a place value grid. And this is my place value grid, tens and ones here, and here are my Deans. So the first thing I did was to set out my calculation in a column. Now to do this, I put my larger addend on top. So my larger addend in this calculation here was 35. So I set out 35 on top. Then I used the add sign at the side to show that we were adding. Then I placed my second addend underneath my first addend. Now I made sure that each of the digits were aligned. and in the correct place value column. After that, I made 35 using Deans, as you can see. 3 tens in 35, so I placed 3 tens into the place value grid. 35 has 5 ones, so I've placed 5 ones into my place value grid. I then made my second number, which was 24. 24 has 2 tens, 10, 20, and it has 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to add these numbers together, I'm going to start from my ones column. You always start from the ones column. So I've got 5 ones plus 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know that I've got 9 ones. So I write 5 add 4 gives me 9 ones. I've placed my answer directly under the correct place value column. I then move on to add my tens. So 30 tens, 10, 20, 30. Add 20 tens, 10, 20. Gives me a combined total of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I can represent that in my tens column using the 5. Again, making sure that each of my digits are all aligned and set out in the correct place value column. So I know that 35 plus 24 gives me the sum of 59. Oops, 59. Your turn now. Can you add together 55 plus 14? Pause the video and have a go. Remember to use your place value grid and Deans to help you. Let's be reflective and check your answers. So, once again, I have set out my calculation into a column. My first addend is on top, 55. My second addend, which is 14, is underneath. Each of my digits are aligned into the correct place value column. I've also used my addition sign to show that this is an addition calculation. Following this, I've then made each of my numbers using Deans and inserted them into the place value grid. So 55, I've got 5 tens, which equates to 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and I've got 5 ones. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've then gone on to make my second addend. Here I've got the number 14. I've got 110 shown here, and I've got 4 ones shown here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that I've inserted each Deans into its correct place value section of the grid, I can start to add my column together. Again, starting from the ones. So I've got 5 ones, add 4 ones. Using my place value grid to help me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So underneath the ones, I will write the digit 9. Now I'm going to move on to my next column, which is my tens column. I'm going to add 5 tens, which is 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus 110. Combine the 50 and the 10 gives me a total of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and I can represent that using the number 6 to show that 55 plus 14 gives me the sum of 69. If you find out the answer, you did a great job. Well done. So, how to add with exchanging. So again, I set my calculation out into a column. My larger number goes on top, my smaller number goes underneath, and I represent my operation using the correct symbol, which here is the addition sign. I've got my place value grid ready. I have made my first number, which is 44, and inserted each of the digits into the correct place value column upon my grid. So here I've got 4 tens, and I've inserted 4 tens into the grid, and I've got 4 ones. I've inserted my 4 ones into the grid for my number 44. I've then moved on to my second number, which is 29. Here I've got 2 tens. In my grid I've inserted 2 tens. And I've got 9 ones. And here are my 9 ones in the grid. So once again I'm going to start from my ones column to add them together. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now I've got 13 ones, but I can only place one digit in my place value column. So what I'm going to need to do is something called an exchange. Now there are 10 ones which make up 1 10. So I'm going to exchange 10 ones for 1 10. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've taken 10 of my ones off my grid. I'm going to exchange that for 1 10. So I know now that I have got 3 ones. So I'm going to represent that here using a 3. But I need to show that I have made an exchange. I've exchanged my 10 ones for 1 10. To show that, I'm going to then place my 1 underneath, and now I'm going to move on to add my tens column. I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then my 10, which I exchanged earlier for my 10 ones. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I have 7 tens, which represent 73. So I know that 44 plus 29 gives me the grand total, the grand sum of 73. I wonder, can you have a go at using exchanging while adding? Pause the video and try and have a go at adding 32 plus 19 using exchanging if you need to. Let's try and work out your answers. Okay, here we go. Once again, I have set out my calculation in the layout of a column. I've placed my larger number on top and my second add end underneath that, aligning each digit into the correct place value column. I've used an addition sign to show that my calculation is that of add. To help me, I have got my place value grid. First thing I did was to make 32. Here I go. I've got 3 tens, which are represented in my tens column, and in the number 32 I have 2 ones, so 32. I then went on to making my second add end, and in this number 19 I have 1 10 and 9 ones. Once again, I start from my ones column to add them together. So I did 2 add 9 gave me the total of 11. Now I can only insert one digit into the place value column within my column. So I'm going to exchange 10 ones for 1 10. So here we go again. I'm taking my 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm exchanging 10 ones for 1 10 because there are 10 ones in 1 10, and I'm going to place that in the tens column. I've just exchanged 10 ones for 1 10. So I'm going to show that over here in my working out. So I've got 1, 1, and there we go, there's my 1 1, and I have exchanged 10 ones for 1 10, and I'm going to show that here underneath my tens column. And what I'm going to do is add all of my tens together now to find out my combined total. So I've got 10, 20, 30, 40 plus my exchanged 10 from earlier, which now gives me 50. So I know that 32 add 19 gives me the sum of 51. It's your turn now, guys. Can you add these numbers together? Maybe with or without exchanging. I'd love you to send some of your work into our school account via Twitter or email. Fantastic job for today. Well done.